All right, moving on. Any talk about real estate is incomplete without addressing urban infrastructure, and parking space is today the biggest challenge for cities. In Delhi especially, the issue has escalated to the level of being a law and order problem. Recently, we all heard about a 57-year-old thrashed to death over a parking dispute, and similar deaths have been reported in recent weeks due to parking-related altercations. Lack of an effective parking policy is not only causing such law and order issues, it is also leading to misuse of prime land. Anjilee Istwal gets you this story.
Delhi roads seem to cater more to stationary vehicles than moving ones. Every street and corner of Delhi is overflowing with on-street parking. It's taken for granted that public land and road in front of homes and offices is free for parking. The result? Prime land congested with private cars, with neither civic agencies nor the state government earning any revenue from it. In fact, the lack of any effective parking policy in both residential and commercial areas of Delhi is actually encouraging Delhiites to buy more cars.
This cheap and subsidized and free parking is kind of acting as it's inciting more and more car ownership and car usage. Therefore, the new thinking today, and this has come from the National Urban Transport Policy, that how do we come up with a good enforcement strategy where we can very clearly demarcate and show on ground where are the legal parking areas.
A look at the data released in a study by Centre for Science and Environment last year brought forth startling facts. The current fleet of cars occupies nearly 10% of Delhi's urbanized area, only 1% less than the forest cover in Delhi. The encroachment is likely to rise at an alarming rate, with 1.6 lakh new cars being registered every year. And if the rate at which Delhiites are buying new set of wheels does not come down, by 2020, Delhi will have 39 lakh cars. Despite the passion for buying a car, their use remains limited. 90% of the time, the cars remain unused. And only 14% of Delhi's travel needs are met by cars. Experts feel that an efficient public transport system and a parking policy that makes parking expensive would take Delhi towards a more decongested future. For this, free parking should be minimized or eliminated, even in residential colonies. Variable rates for parking needs to be applied more widely to reduce peak demand. Parking rates should be lower at public transport connection sites to influence commuting choices. There should be parity in rates of surface parking and structured parking so that people choose multi-level parking over surface and on-street parking. There is also a need to develop metropolitan-wide parking fee system.
You don't have the last mile linkage yet, but there would be, just like you have cabs now on call, I think at some point in time you would have autos on call. And things will improve, and there'll be an automatic pressure for you not to buy a car because you won't be able to afford it to take it around the city. You won't have a place to park.
The Master Plan 2021 and building bylaws make it compulsory for a plot owner to provide ample parking within the plot if he intends to build on it. But with land getting exhausted and plots utilizing more and more space for residents, the logic of wasting prime land for parking is questionable. From New Delhi, Anjilee Istwal for NDTV.